Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. We can currently see that Bitcoin is getting close to 50k again, and here we can see that, yeah, it's a little bit of a drop, but pretty much just sideways movement. And again, that can be related to the long bank holiday weekend. I think tomorrow we're going to see some more movement because the markets in the US are opening again tomorrow. So there could be a bit of volatility, and maybe that happened the last few weeks. Just before the daily or the weekly candle close, we saw some movement. So that could happen in the next few hours, but I would expect some movement latest tomorrow. Overall, Bitcoin continues to hover around this support line. You know, my primary expectation is still that we, from here somewhere, we start the sell-off in a final wave 5 and will end in this yellow target area between 20 and 29k. That is still my view here for Bitcoin. That hasn't changed, and this is still the destination where I still see the price go into. We just don't have the currently the environment in which we go to all-time highs. In my opinion, the markets are very uncertain. There's a lot of uncertainty. In the member live stream today, we talked about the fear and greed index. We just see that we are just getting nearly or close to extreme fear again. And going to new all-time highs, you just need a sentiment in which that supports that. You need a flourishing environment, flourishing economy, and so on. And we just don't see it. You know, that is the problem. Overall, yeah, the market is being held down at the moment, and that would just confirm my Elliott Wave count and my view that wave C or that wave 2 here, yeah, should make a low below that wave A from June, and that was at 28.7k. So I see the price drop below that. Ideally, that would be the ideal case, and in my opinion the most likely case, and that is what TA is about, to find the most likely target area where prices are going into. And as I said before, in my opinion, the Elliott Wave method, if applied correctly, is the method that can give you the best view of where prices might land. Of course, there are always different scenarios. In my case here, I've got two scenarios. One where the price is going immediately into that target area. So of course, not in a straight line, but where we are going to start a sell-off very soon. The alternative would be that we get somewhere in this area, but then here would reverse down. I just don't see the all-time highs at the moment. Now that might change if something in the chart changes, and I would make you aware of it. At the moment, I don't see it. Also, the move here, what we're doing, looks very corrective. Just look at how impulsive we came down here. That is a corrective movement at the moment before you get impulsive again. That is at least how I see it at the moment. What we also need to consider, and I talked about that in the member live stream as well today, we have the 1 year moving average, and that is one that, yeah, that in my opinion really divides bull market into bear market, if you want to call it bull and bear market. I don't really like the terminology, but you can see this is the 365 daily moving average, the 1 year moving average, and it has been fairly accurate in providing support and resistance, and in terms of dividing a bearish mode, bearish sentiment and bullish sentiment. So obviously when you are above the yellow line, this was being above the 365 day moving average or above the 1 year moving average, that is when you made new all-time highs. Then here you hit support here on the 21st of July, and we came up again. And then when we broke below the 1 year moving average, that is when you saw quite an important or massive drop from around 50k, that was, all the way down to 33k. And since then we have not been able to reclaim the 1 year moving average. So we are below it at the moment. You can see how pretty much the chart is divided into periods above and below, especially here recently. That is also very much related to what we talked about here before, this sort of head and shoulders pattern. You had a massive head and shoulders pattern here. That, by the way, brings us exactly into my target area here. But we then broke obviously the neckline here of that head and shoulders. And since then, all we've done is to retest that neckline. We have not been able to get back above it again. Yeah. So this is just something to be aware of. That channel here in which we are is highly relevant. It is very important, yeah. And that 1 year moving average, the last time we were below it was here when COVID hit, And then before that, that was the so-called crypto winter, when we entered the bear market after the 2018 high. Yeah. So, and we are now again below the 1 year moving average. So it's just something to be aware of, something very, very relevant and very important. So let's take a look at the short term. What is Bitcoin actually doing at the moment? And yeah, we don't see much movement, but we're currently just retesting that support line again. Currently forming here a bit of a head and shoulders. That's what we said could happen here. Of course, there is a risk when you make a high, a higher high, and a lower high. Now, the neckline continues to be here around the 39.8K. It's an ascending one. But really, I don't think you see another sell-off until you break below this previous low, the 39.2K level. You can see here we are in a short-term downtrend. That downtrend, in my opinion, would only be broken if you break above the previous swing high. That swing high would have been here at 43.4K. That would also match that Fibonacci retracement level, which defines that green target box. Yeah, we've got here a Fib level retracement, and this is anywhere in here I would expect that wave 4 to turn around. We already got into the target area, so theoretically we could start the sell-off, but the ideal level is somewhere around 42.3K. That is the 38.2% Fib level. Now, we already do that head and shoulders here at the moment. Now, if that is going to work out, I don't know. This is certainly a neckline where we currently find support again. But even more important, in my opinion, in this case, is the 39.2K level, that previous low here from the 11th of April. Yeah, we need to break below that, or the downtrend is not going to continue. That is, in my opinion here, very, very important. Still very low volume, but we have seen here very, very recently, just now, seen a bit of, if I zoom in, you see it, a little bit of an increase in volume. So just before the weekly candle close. So obviously we have here decreasing volume, you can see it, and we have now broken above that. So that could be here a bit of a signal that starts here, that we start to see here a little bit of volume. Now that was buying volume that came in after we had here a selling volume increase. So just something interesting. Of course, no clear signal yet. We need to wait for a signal here. The next signal for me would be a break below, well, first of all, below the neckline, 39.8K. I would start looking then, but very importantly is here the drop below 39.2K, that previous swing low. I think that is really what matters here and what will define if Bitcoin will get into another sell-off and we continue that downtrend or not. Primarily, I would still expect first, before we head down, that we move a little bit further here into the green target area, purely because the most likely retracement level for a wave 4 is the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level. And just to show you that again, that would be here at 42.4K pretty much. Yeah, this is where I would expect with the highest likelihood the price to get into. That is just what I have to expect because it is the highest likelihood. Yeah, there's no reason for me to expect something different. Of course, we need to expect different things, but we have obviously here a primary expectation. But for now, we don't really see a clear signal in the chart. Yeah, and that is my view here about Bitcoin at the moment. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.